Hey everyone, and welcome. For decades, right, we've been told that the key to online security is all about a stronger password, better multi-factor authentication, a more secure login. But what if the login itself is the actual problem? Today, we're going to dive into a pretty fundamental shift in cybersecurity, moving from just protecting the front door to actually securing the entire house. Okay, let's get into it. This quote really just gets to the heart of the matter. We have poured billions of dollars into perfecting that one single moment, the login, while attackers have just moved on. They're not trying to pick the lock anymore. They're literally climbing through the open window of your active session. And that right there brings us to the real threat. It's not about someone guessing your password anymore. The whole game has changed. The real danger, the one we need to be talking about, is what happens after you've already successfully logged in. I mean, think about it. A login is just a single point in time. You prove who you are, boom, you're in. But your session? That can last for hours, maybe even days. It's this continuous stream of data and activity, and that entire stream is the real prize for an attacker. Securing the front gate is kind of useless if the entire kingdom behind it is left completely undefended, right? So how is that session even kept alive? Well, it's with this little piece of data called a session token. You can think of it like a digital hall pass that your browser shows the server every single time it makes a request, just to say, yep, I'm still logged in, we're good. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. That token itself becomes the new bullseye. If an attacker can steal it from your browser, they can just become you. No password needed. Now, the industry knows this is a huge problem, of course, but the solutions we have right now are, well, they're basically a form of cryptographic gymnastics. They are incredibly complex, and that complexity, as you know, can be a vulnerability all on its own. So on one side, you've got the procedural approach. This is what everybody's doing today. It's all about constantly rechecking the token, trying to bind it to the device through this frantic dance of cryptographic proofs. But on the other side, there's a much, much simpler idea, the deterministic approach. And here, identity isn't something you check over and over again. It's just an inherent state of the connection itself. These procedural fixes, these gymnastics, they have names like depop and token binding. They involve all these complex loops and ceremonies that require thousands of new lines of code on browsers, on servers, everywhere. And as any developer is going to tell you, every single new line of code is another potential place for things to go wrong. It's like adding more and more locks to the door, just hoping one of them will finally hold. So it really is time for a philosophical shift, a move away from this endless complexity and towards something that's fundamentally simpler and way more robust. This is what we're calling the deterministic shift. And this right here is the core aha moment. See, the procedural world is totally stuck asking, is this token still valid? Does it belong to this device? Has it been stolen yet? But the deterministic model asks a much more powerful, much simpler question. Does the secure, encrypted connection even exist in the first place? And this just illustrates the new model perfectly. It's completely binary. If a unique secret known only to the user's device and the server is used to create the encrypted tunnel, then the very existence of that tunnel is the proof of identity. If the secret isn't there, the tunnel can't be formed. No communication happens. It's honestly that simple. Okay, so that sounds great in theory, but how does it actually work in the real world? Let's take a look at an actual architecture that's putting this idea into practice today. It's called PADIT. It stands for Post-Authentication Device Identity in Transaction. And instead of putting identity way up in the application layer where it can be stolen, PADIT bakes it directly into the secure foundation of the internet itself, the TLS transport layer. And here's how it works, using technologies that are already standardized and out there. First, you authenticate normally with something strong, like your fingerprint using FIDO2. Then, that very same authenticator generates a unique one-time secret. But here's the crucial part, the magic step. Instead of using that secret to create a token, it's plugged directly into the handshake that creates the secure TLS connection. A secure tunnel is established, and a session token is never, ever even created. So the most important point is this: no token, no target. By getting rid of the session token entirely, you eliminate the one thing attackers are actually trying to steal. You literally can't steal something that doesn't exist. The identity moves from that vulnerable browser memory deep into the protected TLS stack. Now, a better tokenless session is a massive step forward, but PADIT is really just the foundation for an even bigger, even more radical idea about the future of identity. And that big idea is called LIT, or Live Identity in Transactions. The ultimate goal here isn't just to make the login safer, it's to make logging into a service disappear completely. We're talking about moving from an era of logging in to an era of continuous, invisible trust. So how do we do that? By understanding that true identity isn't just one thing. It's an equation, and it has three mandatory pillars. First, you've got the actor, the verified human. Second, the environment, the trusted device hardware. And third, the conditions, the real-time security status, like, is your disk encryption on? Things like that. When you combine all three of these pillars, that's when you get true identity assurance. Your device can then emit this continuous cryptographic pulse that proves the verified user is on a trusted device under secure conditions. And as long as that pulse is active, you are trusted. There's no need to constantly log in and out of different services. And that leaves us with this final, really provocative thought. The goal isn't just to build a better password or some clever new authentication app. The true north for digital identity, the future, is a world where the only login you ever do is to your own device. And from there, cryptography just handles the rest. A future that isn't about a better login, but no login at all.